Welcome back to the Deep Dig Sports Pod. I'm your host, Drew. My other host, right over here.
What's up? It's D. Good to see you guys again. Go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe to this pod.
What's up, guys? My name's Karkast on YouTube. I appreciate you guys for having me on. It's an honor. It's a pleasure.
Yeah,
Right.
and as far as the back half of the defense, the defensive back room, I thought it was interesting that Carcast threw out maybe throwing Nufunga into some linebacker because maybe we're too rich at the safety position now. I know people are hurt that Jimmy Ward's gone, but
Yeah.
we got Ufunga now. We Tashawn Gibson comes back off of like amazing year, Pro Bowl level year, and we get Ji'Ayir Brown, who's people were arguing that he should have been a first round pick now.
He would have run
Yeah.
faster 40. He probably would have been the top
Yeah,
safety.
but I feel like that's the narrative every year. Like, oh, these safeties and DBs are running slow in the combine, and then it turns out all these guys who are in the third, fourth are like
Dogs.
actually dogs.
Right.
So, yeah, how you feeling about these DBs right now? There's so many young corners on this team.
Jair Brown, D brought it up. I was surprised because his 40 time was like a 4 or 5, and they put him early in the second round. This is the guy I was really pounding the table for. He was a playmaker at Penn State, was 11 interceptions, I think, in 2021. Like, this guy balled out. He was like their best player, and he was like the defensive player of the Rose Bowl, I think. So this guy's phenomenal. Um, Training camp, he looks good. He was, and that's this is the thing about Jair Brown. This is what really stood out to me today. He was the first one to show up to training camp today, to go out on the field and just show up. And that's for a rookie to do that, that he's ready to work, He's meeting his new teammates, he's been in contact with Tanu Funga, has great players in the secondary he could learn from. Deshaun Gibson, I know he's aging, but he's been in the league for years now. What is he, like 31? And he had a great season last year. What was it?
Yep.
7, 8 interceptions. You said Drew, he could be a Pro Bowler. Like, I thought he could be a Pro Bowler. Like, that dude played phenomenally. And then, Tano Funga, Jair Brown, like, he could definitely learn. And I'm excited for this DB room, man. Charvarius Ward on the outside, Diamador Lenore. Like, this guy had 2 interceptions in the playoffs last year. And there's a lot of shit talking, crap talking at Diamador Lenore, telling me that he's small, he can't cover these taller wide receivers, he's not the biggest, he can't run with them. And I'm like, yeah, but I know, he didn't really look too good in the regular season, but he showed up in the playoffs, and I think this guy really could break out next season, man. Like, people have been sleeping on this guy. I know he's young. He's still learning. The defense, playing alongside Charvarius Ward, who's been in the league for years now, played, I think, with the Chiefs before the Niners. So I'm excited for Diamador Lenore, and I'm actually excited to see who plays in the slot this year. If it's Isaiah Oliver from the Falcons, Samuel Womack. And speaking of Samuel Womack, apparently, he changed his number to 0, his jersey number, and like it was the first time in franchise history for the Niners that a player has worn 0. So that's something to be super excited for.
It's
So
pretty saucy.
Yeah.
I want Samuel Womack, honestly, man. 2 interceptions in the preseason game. I think last year against the Packers, like, that dude showed up.
He was the
Or,
dog in the preseason.
or even if it's Isaiah Oliver, I don't really mind. Like, but those two guys are definitely balls, and they'll battle it out. So I'm excited for the defensive back room and the safety room, basically.
It's definitely going to be a battle. I know that they spoke very highly of Isaiah Oliver coming into free agency. They were like, oh, well, that was the number 1 slot corner, and that's what we really targeted. So
Yeah.
I think he has the edge going into camp, but you are 100% correct. Samuel Womack looked awesome last year in preseason. And I think it's just one of those things with the 49ers where if you're a rookie, realistically, more than likely, you're not going to play. Like,
Yeah.
they are very much like, you have to earn your stripes on this defense. You're going to sit here, you're going to do special teams, and if we need you, we'll call you up. But other than that, you're fine. And
Right.
so I think we're going to kind of see that a little bit more. But I'm excited to see if Samuel Womack can get some, a little bit more respect and actually, up throw Oliver. And we'll see. We know that realistically DBs are going to get banged up throughout the season. So sporadically, he's probably going to get thrown in there.
Yeah, and
for
we're
sure.
gonna see through camp, like, who are the other guys that just make the roster, like, I think they're bringing, like, a Quantrez Knight just to be in camp,
Oh,
see, like,
nice.
I know last year, who's the real Castro Fields, he was, like, in contention for a roster spot. So there's, like, all these camp guys who are really fighting for roster spots that I wanna see, like, who's gonna be the 5th corner, who's gonna be the 4th, who could step up in the playoffs at the end when, like, everyone's hurt. So, like, I just like how deep we are right now. Like, it's really shaping up to be a good room, a competitive room.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, depth is always good to have, really. And I get it. Some Niner fans, they want the splashy guys. They wanted, what was his name? I'm trying to think of like Yannick Ngakwe. He could
Yeah,
be, but just the depth we have. Depth is always great to have. And the Niners, uh, they put out a great way of doing it. And man, it's like you guys brought up, and I definitely agree with this statement. It's shaping up to be a great roster, and I really wouldn't rule a Super Bowl out unless Kyle Shanahan really stops with this whole ego thing, getting to his personality, and man, just get past that NFC Championship game. That's all I have to say.